You've got to love the stories of unsuspecting folks falling for the Brooklyn Bridge scam, and those slick operators peddling Florida swampland as prime real estate. But hold on tight, because back in the roaring 20s and the trying 30s, we had a scammer so audacious, he managed to pawn off the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Not just once, but twice. This crafty rascal even managed to fleece a wad of cash from a renowned gangster, leaving law enforcement tearing their hair out in utter vexation. Please welcome to the stage, the one and only Count Victor Lustig, the grandmaster of cons. This guy was a con man's con man, a true virtuoso of the swindle. But hey, let's not keep all this fascinating knowledge to ourselves. Join our community of curious minds by subscribing right away. When you do, drop us a comment saying, "I subscribe," to let us know you're on board. We'll be thrilled to respond and engage with your questions and suggestions. Together, let's embark on an exciting journey to uncover hidden secrets and untold tales on Becker's casual history. Born in the heart of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Lustig was more than just your average Joe. He was a shining star of brilliance, a charismatic force to be reckoned with, and a linguistic virtuoso. You see, life had bigger plans for him than just his quaint village, and he was determined to chase those dreams beyond the horizon. Now picture this. The dust had barely settled after World War I, and Lustig's career in the world of deception was about to set sail, quite literally. He embarked on a series of transatlantic voyages aboard those luxurious liners that defined the era. With manners that could put a royal court to shame, and a smoothness that could rival the slickest silk, Lustig effortlessly wormed his way into the hearts of his fellow travelers. It wasn't long before he was rubbing shoulders with the creme de la creme of society. He had a charm that could disarm a room full of cynics, and a magnetism that could make the most guarded wallets spring open. It was as if he possessed a secret recipe for weaving dreams and capturing trust. When asked about the source of his wealth, Lustig revealed a secret. He possessed a money box capable of printing $100 bills. Intrigued, his victims always pleaded to witness this marvel. With an air of great secrecy, he eventually unveiled a wooden box purportedly containing a complex contraption equipped with rollers and printing plates that, supposedly fueled by radium, could produce flawless C notes. The only drawback, as Lustig lamented, was the time it required. Printing a single bill took a span of 6 hours. He would manipulate a few knobs and buttons, darken the room, and secure the door. Upon their return, a crisp $100 bill would be waiting, freshly minted by the machine. They repeated this process another 6 hours later, just as a new $100 bill was materializing. By this juncture, those being deceived were imploring him to sell them the machine, a request he always reluctantly fulfilled. Each money box commanded a price between $10,000 and $30,000, with reports of one even fetching for $47,000. However, once Lustig had safely departed from the scene, the buyers discovered that the box only produced blank paper after dispensing the 2 authentic $100 bills that Lustig had initially loaded into it. In 1919, Lustig found himself entwined in matters of both heart and hustle. He tied the knot with an innocent Kansas girl, venturing into family life. But that's not all. He also embarked on a long-term affair with none other than Billy Mae Scheibel, a millionaire madam hailing from the bustling streets of New York. But let's save her riveting tale for another day. Fast forward to 1925, and Lustig was ready to make waves on a grander scale. Paris beckoned, and with it came his most audacious gambit yet, selling the Eiffel Tower. Believe it or not, this wasn't as outlandish as it might sound today. Built for the 1889 Paris Exposition, the iconic tower had been intended to grace the skyline for a mere 2 decades. However, when Lustig set his sights on it, the tower had reached 36 years of age, its luster tarnished by rust and time. Astonishing as it may seem now, a fair share of Parisians were actually in favor of dismantling the metallic marvel. Lustig was armed with all the trappings of a master manipulator, armed with official-looking documents and posing as the deputy director of the Ministère de Poste et Télégraphe. He dispatched letters to 6 prominent scrap metal dealers. The bait? An invitation to a hush-hush meeting to discuss the discreet dismantling of the tower. Absolute secrecy was paramount, he stressed, to avoid any potential public uproar. And so, the stage was set. An elegant suite at the luxurious Hôtel de Crillon, the dealers in tow, and a limousine ride to inspect the aging iron giant. The pièce de résistance came in the form of sealed bids for the very tower that had graced the city's skyline for decades. One dealer, André Poisson, was particularly eager to secure the prize. In a private tête-à-tête, he confided in Lustig about his lack of influential connections. Lustig, in turn, lamented his own financial struggles, playing the role of a compassionate government official. A subtle nod here, a shared understanding there, followed by a solid bribe that resulted with Poisson parting with $20,000 for the tower itself and an additional $50,000 to ensure his bid's success. Within the hour, Lustig vanished onto a train bound for Vienna, his pockets laden with a staggering $70,000 in cash, a sum that would translate to over $1 million in today's currency. And here's the kicker. When the truth eventually dawned on Poisson, the humiliation proved too much to bear, and the authorities were never called upon. Believe it or not, a mere month later, Lustig was back in Paris, ready to play the same con all over again. Unfortunately this time, one perceptive dealer smelled a rat and promptly alerted the police. Lustig, ever the elusive con artist, managed to elude capture, sailing across the ocean to the safe haven of America just as the law came knocking at his Parisian door. Armed with a staggering 47 aliases and an arsenal of counterfeit passports and IDs, Lustig embarked on a whirlwind journey from one con job to another. His voyage led him to the bustling streets of Chicago, where he showcased a level of audacity that would make even the most seasoned con artist raise an eyebrow. He decided to try his luck with none other than the notorious Scarface himself, Al Capone. Lustig, with his silver tongue in full display, spun a tale of a spectacular stock deal that he just happened to stumble upon. The backdrop? The electrifying Roaring Twenties, a time when Wall Street was ablaze with fervor. But as the tale goes, this deal required a mere $50,000 infusion to set things in motion. What did Lustig promise in return? A dazzling doubling of Big Al's investment in a mere 2 months. Flash forward exactly 60 days, and Lustig, with a heavy heart, returned every last cent of the $50,000. The story he spun was one of disappointment. The deal had crumbled into dust. Now, here's where the tale takes a sly turn. Capone, oddly impressed with Lustig's honesty, handed him a neat $5,000 for investment purposes. Little did Capone know that he was simply padding Lustig's pockets, as the cunning con man quickly made his exit from the Windy City. Arrested more times than one could count, over 40 to be precise. Lustig had a peculiar knack for evading consequences. He'd either wriggle out of legal binds in court or slip through the bars of his cell, a veritable Houdini of the criminal world. In 1930, he joined forces with another partner in deception, Tom Shaw, a crafty chemist and fellow con artist. Together, they conjured a scheme that churned out a staggering $100,000 every month, with counterfeit bills of exquisite quality. The Secret Service found itself befuddled, unable to trace the origins of this torrent of phony money flooding the market. In 1935, their opportunity arose, courtesy of jealousy. Lustig was still engaged in his affair with the high-priced Madame, Billy May. However, when he made advances towards Tom Shaw's mistress, who quickly informed Billy May, things immediately took a turn for the worst. The furious Madame then went to the police and revealed everything. Now that the federal agents knew the identities they were seeking, it was merely a matter of time. When they eventually apprehended him on a New York sidewalk, Lustig's wallet concealed a concealed key. This key unlocked a subway station locker filled with $51,000 in counterfeit bills, along with the plates responsible for their production. From there, it was a one-way ticket to Alcatraz for this extraordinary criminal, as he was given a sentence of 20 years, sealing his fate. In the early days of 1947, pneumonia took Lustig's last breath away within the confines of a prison hospital, closing the chapter on his life. As a final twist of fate, Lustig's death certificate humorously labeled his occupation as an apprentice salesman. Yet the irony couldn't be more striking. Victor Lustig possessed a mastery of extracting money from individuals that surpassed even the skills of renowned sales icons like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and other celebrated pitchmen. Before we wrap up, have you ever been fascinated by time travel? Get ready to immerse yourself in the captivating story of Ukrainian time traveler Sergei Ponomarenko. Just a click away is your passport to an adventure that will transport you into a world that will make you question the very fabric of existence. Let's dive in.